I miss the good old days of YouTube when it was pretty much just people talking into a camera or random videos of pets doing the wildest shenanigans. Like, I could just hop onto the website back in the day and watch that old content where people would literally just set up a crappy camera in front of their TV and record their gameplay while they do their best to do a funny commentary. I must admit, I was also one of those kids. Set up my camera and tried my best to freestyle commentate on one of my old clips from Black Ops 2. I don't know if I could ever find that footage, but YouTube was built and gained most of its popularity off the backs of classic cat and funny clip videos back in a time when nobody really knew what democratizing and popularizing video sharing would become. And as a viewer back then, it was a fantastic time as it was easy to find channels you liked and you weren't constantly being inundated with advertisements. The ad revenue system was massively different than it is today. You know, one of the very first videos ever posted to the platform is about a day at the zoo recorded in stunning 360p.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool.
A true testament to the humble beginnings of a website that was aimed at just sharing the videos you happen to capture on your phone or camera. It was the essence of what video sharing used to be. But as the platform evolved, a lot of the content shifted from being this personal or funny form of videos to being corporate cookie-cutter content optimized for mid-rolls and ads. You also started seeing more and more clickbait thumbnails that had nothing to do with the actual video, or you would find channels that were just flat-out scripting all of their content across prank videos or vlogs. I remember as a little kid watching endless hours of those fake gold digger pranks where some douchebag tries the worst pickup lines imaginable, only to get rejected, but he doesn't care because he has an expensive Lamborghini to drive away in. I must admit, I used to consume those clips like no tomorrow. YouTube also started actively demonetizing content that wasn't advertiser friendly as well, and I personally think that a combination of these factors is what led us to where we are today, with content that has been optimized for these corporate overlords. However, it hasn't all been horrible. It has led to a lot of high quality content as well now on the platform. Creators began taking their editing and filming more seriously, which helped them to grow to an even greater audience. And there's plenty of infographic or animation-led documentaries and commentaries that have emerged that genuinely teach you something or help you learn about a topic. I like to watch those dramatic crime documentaries or deep web stories all the time when I'm working out, but for every informational entertainment channel, there's probably 100 brain rot channels that don't teach you anything and just spam funk music while doing a crappy edit. Or there's channels that are dedicated to street interviews asking drunk girls about their body count. Either way, it doesn't feel like genuine, interesting content. The quality and production of these videos have increased significantly, but the content itself is uninspired and flat. But the final late stage of YouTube has finally been achieved with a gradual overflow of just fully AI generated channels. And I don't mean channels that are just using stolen and rehashed stories from Reddit with an AI voice, but I mean entire videos or clips dedicated to the sole purpose of using generative AI to tell a story or alter a clip. One of the biggest niches for AI generated film has been fake movie trailers for films that will never be created. And it's usually just AI slop that gets stitched together with dramatic music playing in the background, much of which is just brainless, soulless background footage that wasted a crap ton of electricity. And yet, these trailers have generated millions of views on the platform. These channels gain thousands of subscribers daily off the backs of generative AI models. While not as deceptive as the next examples I'm going to cover, these trailers are devaluing the actual films and content we want to see, as well as drowning them down in the YouTube algorithm. This hurts actual filmmakers on YouTube too, who genuinely create short films and stories with real actors, but at least these videos are based on the premise of being fake or quote-unquote concepts for potential movie ideas. While on the other hand, this entire section of YouTube that I'm going to talk about is supposed to be grounded in real-life stories and events. The entire genre of true crime on YouTube has been completely flooded with fictitious stories made up by AI hallucinations. It's no secret that the true crime community on YouTube is incredibly active and always seeking out new content, but a byproduct of this is that they pretty much heard every sort of crime ever perpetuated in human history at this point. There's nothing they haven't seen before, so this leaves them sort of at the bottom of a content barrel where they're just trying to scrape anything together. So some of these channels are getting so desperate for new content that they are completely fabricating true crime stories using AI and passing it off onto their viewers. Just completely AI slop. Channels that claim in the title or at the beginning of their videos that the stories are true and real, but the reality is that you would never be able to find any details of the story on the internet or in in any criminal database. All of the videos are stock footage or generated images. None of it is real. It never happened. And I think that channels that post AI slop like this damage the confidence and reliabilities of the videos you watch on YouTube. How can I trust that my educational or entertainment content is accurate when a lot of the content flooding the platform is fake, especially when it claims to be true? Another area where AI has seemingly invaded YouTube is on talent show audition tapes. Talent shows used to be a big thing in the early 2000s and 2010s with shows like The Voice and The Got Talent show that had a variation for every country. Specifically, America's Got Talent clips have been a prime target for AI-generated stories and videos completely fabricated and passed off to YouTube. One example that comes to mind is the 20-year-old Nigerian man with 3 heads and 1 body who sings.
The grace of God flows like a river, filling every empty place within. With every breath, His mercy lingers. In every struggle, I find strength again. Ooh, but sun be on the room.
A truly terrifying clip that will haunt me in my dreams. This has also unfortunately been a devastatingly successful tool in deceiving the Facebook grandmas and boomers who still consume this type of old school television content. This slop goes viral on the platform and gets shared across the internet, so it's important to be aware that some of your family members might fall victim to a clip like this or similar. Now you might be saying to yourself, these clips and trailers are obviously fake. Once I tell my family about it and help inform them of new AI technology, they'll be able to distinguish this kind of stuff easily. Well, I think there's this misconception that we can inform the most vulnerable in our society to be aware of this, and I'm here to tell you that those fantasy dreams are about to be shattered. Parent company of YouTube has just rolled out what is effectively one of the most powerful video models that can generate realistic audio and speech with film. Basically, it's a hyper-advanced infinite propaganda and advertisement machine that will make video production easier than it's ever been. And I think that this new model is really going to change how we perceive and interact with video. We are truly entering into a time where you can only trust something if you've actually seen it in person. It's an AI model called VO3, and it was released just earlier this week to the public, and the clips that were generated from this model have been circulating and going viral all over the internet. Unveiled at the Google I/O annual conference, the CEO, Sundar Pichai, has claimed that this is still a rapidly improving model. And yet, some of the stuff it's creating is seriously mind-bending, and it's been slowly flooding my social media feeds. Like every time I scroll Instagram now, I am being recommended fully AI-generated videos and trailers like these clips.
What is your average time in the bathroom?
About 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, maybe like 15 minutes or so.
What's the biggest red flag in a girl?
So, how did you find yourself in this situation?
What's one move with AI that makes haters go crazy every time?
Oh, y'all gotta give them that. This is wild. It's over. We are cooked on that thread. You get me?
I think we can all agree that humanity is officially burnt. Seeing footage that is this advanced makes me worried about how far we really are from indistinguishable videos and photos. Why go out and film when you could just prompt a viral video of a drunk girl saying Hatua? An uncontrolled model like this can cause vast amounts of irreparable damage to our society, and Google decided to just put it into everybody's hands. Proverbial smoke and gun that Google will continue to push this slop into their advertising and marketing. Hell, even Netflix has begun experimenting with AI-generated ads that are supposed to match your mood, which sort of leaves us at this crossroads where we either accept AI content into our everyday lives or outright reject it. And unfortunately, from the use cases and numbers I've seen on the terrible AI videos we already have on YouTube, I'm not very optimistic about the future of the website or filmmaking. I think we're going to see AI videos entering the platform at an unprecedented scale. Right now, there's even an experimental feature for YouTube Shorts where you can prompt and edit an entire AI-generated video. Like seriously, you could just type out a prompt, add a sound in the app, and post it to your channel in the span of about 30 seconds. I guess the platform is getting desperate for any tiny amount of engagement, but the problem is that YouTube already had a massive AI slot problem, and with the new release of VO3, Google's very own video generation model, the platform is going to become overrun with soulless content produced in mass. All of those short films that utilize actors, scripts, and cameras are going to be replaced with AI over time. But I don't think we will have like this massive shift that everyone's been claiming that's going to happen. I think it'll be a slow, progressive one that happens over time as we become less and less able to distinguish real film from generated film. There will no doubt be entire channels dedicated to generating the cringiest scripts imaginable that borderline on psychosis levels of derangement using VO3. Our smooth brains will somehow become slicker, and I think we'll have a portion of the human population that actively engages and consumes this garbage. But for those of us that want to reject this kind of brainless content that will soon be everywhere, we'll need to find creators or channels that resonate with what we think and believe. So while I am pessimistic about AI channels popping up, I am also very hopeful that there will be a resurgence in genuine content that doesn't try to rage or engagement bait you at every turn. We'll see more people who are setting up their cameras like in the classic days of YouTube and just talking to connect with the person on the other side. Like I said before, I think YouTube is one of the purest and most genuine forms of social media. It lets you sit down and listen or watch another real life person who is interesting or funny or charming. It gives you a glimpse into the daily lives of others and basically have a conversation with someone whom you would love to meet in person. My last thought here is that I believe we should take some responsibility and work to avoid content that tries to deceive or play on our emotions. We are amazing, sophisticated, and artistic beings that are capable of creating much more than we are even aware of. Well, that's all I have for today's video. Please be sure to subscribe and like if you guys did enjoy. I appreciate you guys for making it to the end, and as always, have a good one.